Hi guys, for this video I'd like to talk about some of the factors involved when you're developing a product and trying to develop it so that product sells. I just got my CO2 laser about a month ago and I started playing with it, and it cuts acrylic pretty well. So although I was planning to use it for something else, I did think of, why not do something to make use of the laser as it is. So the first thing I thought about was making acrylic cake toppers. Something that I've been trying to do way back with my CNC machines, but that didn't turn out to be too practical. So this is what this video is about. So in the next few clips, you're going to see some of the early experiments I did in making the cake toppers. Some of them had plain lettering. One of the things that I was thinking about was making them customized so you can have your own name on it. So it's going to be a product on demand. And you can also engrave pictures on it. And maybe one gimmick that might be appealing is that I found out that when you have a transparent piece of acrylic and you engrave the negative of a picture on it, when you project it, it's going to look like the picture itself. So you'll see that in the next few clips. Okay, so the first question, will people buy it? Yes, there already is a market for acrylic cake toppers. There are a number of people that sell this online, uh, but their designs are mostly letters that are cut out exactly according to the outline. So what I am offering would be something different in that the letters will be engraved in a piece of acrylic that's cut in a certain shape, maybe a heart, a birthday cake, or maybe just a plain rectangle or oval. So what about personalized acrylic cake toppers? What are the pros and cons? Now, the pros would be it would be much more appealing because it would be personalized. So you'd most likely want to get that. Second, you can charge higher for it because it is personalized. But then there are cons also. Now, the one drawback to it, as the person doing the service, is that it's going to be very hard to scale it because you have to be able to deliver the product in a certain time frame. So, I mean, like, what if you get 30 orders in a month? That's fine, right? But what if you get all those customized orders in one day, once a month? So it's going to be very difficult to handle that. Uh, and another thing is that I only have one laser as of now. So if you're offering a customized service that you have to deliver in 2 or 3 days, what if the laser breaks down? It'll take me 4 to 6 weeks to get another part to fix it. So with the equipment that I have right now, just a single laser, that's probably the main thing I'm worrying about. Somebody ordering a customized piece and then the laser breaking down in the middle of that project. So the thing that I've been thinking about is, aside from the customizing, I can also make just, pre-made uh, cake toppers with generic messages like a happy monthsary, happy anniversary, or happy birthday. uh, and also letters. So the idea is the customer can pick a greeting and maybe just use that. Or if they want to customize it with a name, they buy each individual letter. So I'll be needing to make the greetings themselves, cut out of acrylic, and also the individual letters. So a very important factor is, you know, we're trying to make it into a business, so we need to have a good profit margin. So it's not just like manufacturing something and then tacking a price onto it at random. Uh, you have to sort of get it at the right price range. For example, let me show you three of the different sizes of the letters that I've been making. There you go. So this is the first one. It's a very small piece. I did that because I was trying to fit 80 of these pieces into 1 square foot of acrylic. So it'll be good, it'll be cheap, but it seemed a little bit too small for me. Now this one is about double this, so I can fit 40 of these pieces into a single square foot. This one is 60. Okay, so this is the last one I tried. It's a decent size. It looks good on the cake. So here's the question. How much will you charge for these things? It would be a very good pricing thing if you can align it. So for example, if I sell this at 10, so that's a good price. So it's a nice round number. If I can sell this at 10 with 80 pieces, then that means I can make 800 per square foot gross. This one, okay, so it looks it's slightly big, so if I can sell it at 20, but at 20 it seems a little bit cheap for it, so maybe 30. So but at 30 it's still a little bit expensive, so well let's just put it at say 30 times 40 pieces, that's about 1,200 per square foot, okay, in pesos. But 30 per letter might seem a little bit extravagant, so because if you have a name like Alexander, so that's 9 letters. Yeah, 9. So that'll cost you 270 already, which is a little bit expensive. But if we go with this size, which I can fit 60 onto a square foot, that means 60 and 20 pesos is a decent price for a single chip. It's also a nice round number. So 20 times 60 would be 1,200. So you'd have the same gross revenues as this one, but this one is more affordable to the people per piece, and that's on a per square foot basis. So one of the other things that I've had to think about was how to optimize use of the acrylic, because there are some designs, especially with the large ones, since cake toppers have to have legs. Having legs actually takes up a lot of space that you won't be able to use. So let me show you with a few examples. There you go. So here's a nice big cake topper. As you can see, the problem is it has legs, and that's going to be a waste in a when you try to cut it out. So for example, oops, wait a minute. Okay, so I couldn't find the one that's actually fits for this, but Anyway, so if you have a design and you have legs, as you can see, there's a there's a space here that you can't use anymore. So it's going to be hard to fit. So the idea is to make a design that makes the best use of the the plastic that you have. So here's one solution for it. There you go. So you can cut out one design and then another type of design on the other side that doesn't intersect. Or you can also do this. Okay. Make sure that in your designs, you can make some of the designs have narrower leg spacing, so you can actually fit two of them into a single, a half square foot of plastic. So now, what if you really want to maximize it, because these things are still maybe a bit too big. They're great for personalized stuff because they have space for the text. But if you're just going to make simple ones that are low cost, then you'd need to be able to fit a lot more. So like 4 into one piece like this. So the idea is I really wasn't able to fit that much into such a small space, but there you go. Here's the solution that I came up with. So I'll make the toppers in 2 pieces. So the text themselves, you got 4, and then 4 legs, and then I'll just glue the legs on later. So here's a sample of that. Go, happy birthday, and this fits, see, right there. So that's the top, and these legs were just glued, and they were cut out from the same piece. There you go. So this thing I could probably sell for maybe 50 pesos or 100. So again, it's a nice round number, and since I'm making full use of the plastic, I'm maximizing the revenue that I'll make from these things. Okay, so what about marketing? Well, one option is I can sell it directly online. Second, I can get dealers for it, and that's when all the efficiency comes into play. I mean, the lower your production cost, the bigger a margin you can give your dealers or distributors, and that's why they will be more willing to sell your product. Uh, I've also thought about approaching maybe a large bakery chain and then offering the fixed greetings, toppers, and the letters, so they'd have something to sell immediately. As for the personalized one, probably I probably won't consider it just yet. There's still a lot of things to think about when you're trying to do that with a large volume. One, you'll have to have a lot of equipment, a number of lasers to handle the volume if it ever comes to something that's very high. And also, how do you become reliable and efficient? Like a large part of it is going to be in the delivery, and that's going to be a big part of the cost. Delivering an order to a particular branch of the bakery chain. But when I do that, I'll post a video about it. So well, that's about it with marketing. Uh, I just suck at marketing, so it's not really something I can give good advice about. But let's see. Okay, competition. So what happens when somebody else buys the same equipment and offers the same product to your dealers or customers at a lower cost? Well, that's also why it's important at the start to, as much as possible, try to be as efficient as you can. Because in the example I showed you earlier, if I started out, wasting plastic, uh, with overly large designs, then that means I'd have to price my items a little bit higher. So if somebody comes in, does that optimization, if it comes down to a price war, they will always win because they'll be able to make most use of your raw material, your acrylic. Uh, there's also a lot of factors involved when competing. Good relations with your dealers or distributors. Maybe do some promos with your customers. So, I mean, you'll have to cross that bridge when you get there. Uh, but as far as being prepared, you just have to make a good product at the start, and uh, at least that's a good basis for it. As for possible competition in the future, I'm sure there will be, but at the moment I can't really say how they'll be able to impact it. I mean, it's a niche market anyway, so it's not like somebody's going to just come in and take over it right away. So I think I'll have time to prepare for it. That's about it. I mean, the main point of this is that, you know, making a cake topper is simple. I mean, buy the equipment, buy the supplies. In less than an hour, you've made your first design and you've made your first cake topper. But then, if you're actually trying to make a business out of it, then that's not easy. I mean, it's hard in some parts of it. You really have to think a lot about how you're going to do it, how to price it, how to sell it. So, man, it's not easy at all. I mean, but the good thing about this is that why I do it. Although it's a simple thing, but I work a lot with things that are more complex, and those are really hard, to make products out of. Like, for example, some customized laser equipment that I'm developing. I have to think about how to build that particular piece of equipment, and doing that in itself is a total nightmare. Where to get the parts, how to make it cheap, how to make it reliable, how to make it maintainable, how to make it perform well, how to do the hardware, how to do the software. So that's all part of the complex process in developing a product. Uh, but anyway, I'll keep you posted as I go along. And hey, enjoy yourselves. Have a good time, and I hope all the products that you do work and that you become successful. Good luck, guys. See ya.